Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's episode of Let's Chat Live. And we have our wonderful guest tonight, the Yesteryear Crime Podcast, which are sisters Lindsay and Madison. At least I hope they're sisters. That might be a fun little name, you know. Today we have myself, CBall. We have Mr. Revill over here. Sorry we're a little late. Just kind of makeshift. Things happen. Welcome to the world of live. Like I said, tonight we're going to bring on Lindsay and Madison, talk about all kinds of horror and wonderful old-timey crime.
Old-timey
Hey ladies, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Welcome to our shit show.
Thank you for inviting
Beautiful.
It smells great.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You have the wind hitting just right.
Like I said.
We're upwind, so it's good.
Yeah, it's fine. Up north, upwind. It works.
Yeah.
So how are you guys doing tonight? Good?
Good.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
Always like to see a new another podcast we catch up on because we used to see who deal with so many. But what I love the old crimey. Like I said, I was saying before we started, next in New Hampshire is the hometown of H.H. Holmes up in Gilmanton, New Hampshire. And then there was another murder up there too from the 1800s. We can talk about that a little bit. That was fun. Yeah, these are like this. This is that little like small town and stuff nobody talks about. This is some Stephen King type material.
Yeah,
right.
You know,
he had a really great hotel.
Yeah,
dude, he was good. He was just really
no reviews
stupid
and 5 stars.
He got greedy.
Yeah,
he was greedy. He was probably one of the only serial killers I've ever thought about that actually didn't go into like berserker mode and didn't want to like start going crazy. He just got greedy. He wanted more money.
Yeah, he did.
It all came down to insurance fraud.
And it came down to ego because he thought he was never going to get caught.
Yeah.
He was like, I got this.
Partner there.
This was in New Hampshire?
Yeah. Up by Laconia.
I'd never heard of this.
Yeah. Well, that's what his hometown. They don't talk about it. They only talk about his murder house.
Yeah.
Down in Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago.
I never heard that.
Yeah, they don't mention that. Oh. It's kind of like a blip. And then he was born here. Oh, and now he was in college. He went to medical school. And that's kind of it. And he became obsessed with cadavers and, cutting things up and all
selling
the
skeletons.
So where are you based out of, Lindsay and Madison?
We are based from Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota, eh?
Yeah. I'm actually in Minneapolis, in Uptown.
And I am in a suburb north of Minneapolis.
Laverne.
Yeah, we just did one of these with our good friend Laverne, who has a podcast called Cinema Recall, but he's out in Minneapolis as well. And he's a longtime friend, but I never been to Minneapolis, but from talking with him, it sounds incredible. All the cheese curds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cheese curds are good.
It's garbage. I hate it. Fuck.
Food's great.
Minneapolis is the worst. Just kidding.
I don't know. You ever been to Ohio?
I've been through it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's my point. There ain't nothing there.
I enjoyed.
They literally would. They literally tried to pay celebrities to move there, and they won't do it.
Yeah.
Because there's just nothing there.
Like 30 Rock. Oh, so we'd love. Your podcast. It's such a fun experience because I've been like to prepare for this. I've been listening to your podcast week. You don't know me, but I feel like I know you
this is better.
My head.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's cut out. So, can you tell us how did Ye Olde Podcast come to be?
There you go.
Ye Olde Crime is something that I had been sort of thinking about for, I want to say like 3-4 years, something like that. And it's something that was just kind of in the back of my brain. I mentioned it in the episode that's going to come out tomorrow, but I started this spreadsheet at work because I'm a total nerd. And I was like, oh, this article sounds really cool. I want to learn more about this. So I would like put links to all these different like crimes in a spreadsheet. And before I knew it, it had like 200 things on it.
I was gonna say that's some last podcast on the left material right there.
I know.
Yeah.
Like this is horrifying. Let's just but this one goes here. So column A, column B. Ooh, that's some fun shit right there. Let's
pretty
keep going.
much. Yeah. And yeah, it is something that I had talked with Maddie about, and if I remember right, the first time I brought it up to her, she laughed at me. Is that correct, Maddie?
I did. I laughed right in your face. And I was like, oh, okay, we'll get right on that.
Yep.
Okay, good. Because I wasn't sure if it was like, oh yeah, right, or oh, that's great. Oh, there goes Chris.
That's sister love right there for you. So,
Oh, send him.
but
flowers.
but yeah, it was something where we just kind of decided to go for it once COVID hit, as I'm sure most new podcasters have done. So
Listen, that's like, it's funny. I've been doing this for a while with other people and behind the scenes and everything else for years now with some shows, and that was, believe it or not, like people were worried. They're like, "Oh, is this the end of podcasts?" Like we want that initial like huge boom happen. Every comedian in the world had one, and I'm like, I get everything. It tapers off, and then you find your core people, and then COVID hit, and I was like, what the hell else you got to do?
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey, Bree.
I'm stepping in for Chris because bless his heart, he's on his phone.
Oh boy,
And
you're
he just
a
goofed
much
off.
better
Bless
time.
Like, oh my gosh, it is like the best day ever, man. You girls are so lucky to have everybody.
Yeah, this is the whole crew. This doesn't happen very often, so
Perfect.
So
Sorry about that. I had to
we're honored.
move.
Did we decide that you guys are really sisters, or is that some cool thing that you tell people?
We're really sisters.
Oh, no. We're really sisters.
Okay, like we're like taking bets on that,
well, it's like it's like a girl thing. This is my sister,
right?
But-
Like go to the
Oh,
bathroom
yeah.
together and stuff.
You can't tell sometimes. You just kind of either ask or roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So-
sister.
Do you guys like have a history of like history? Like, do you did you go to school for history? Or are you just so excited about
Murder.
learning about old time crime?
We just love murder.
We love murder.
Is there something you want to confess?
It's a
Murder has-
pastime. I mean, a hobby. I mean, an
Pet
interest.
project of ours.
Yeah, right.
So this is live, so
we're
we can
learning
do
skill.
crimes. We don't need to say that.
Yeah.
It's something that I've always been interested in, but it wasn't really until I started like reading about a lot of these like older crimes that I was like, there really is a lot of really random cool shit that happened way back when that nobody talks about that we should probably talk about.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in England, or do you guys stick to a specific time period?
We're kind of all over the place. It's anything before the 1900s is fair game. So
Yeah, I was gonna say England.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jack the Ripper.
One of my
and,
favorite.
Among the many.
yeah.
What are your
One
favorite-
of my favorites is actually animal crimes.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we
animal
did a thing
crime?
on animal crimes. Like,
Like-
France was took weevils to court for a blight. So
They killed a
They
crop
responded
of
really
holy
well.
grapes. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they ate the holy grapes. So
We
they were
very
asked to
smart,
leave in a
were we?
letter.
In a letter. Oh my god.
In a letter.
A
Yeah.
cease and desist.
That's what Chris wants. Rebel. That's like
It's
his
true.
dream. Just make sure it's not crazy, okay, Rebel?
Nah, he wants to play. He wants someone to play music or something and get a cease and desist from their lawyers to have it signed.
Badass.
Well, listen, I have a
I was
live. I have a
listening
live
to,
show that's all music, so I have a feeling it's gonna happen one of these days. Finally gonna get
I
into
was
the
listening to
mainstream
your
music.
most recent episode.
Yeah.
I forgot the prospector, and
Yeah.
He died.
be like,
Oh,
I
there
don't
he
want to
is.
be this, and you can just people could just think you're dead, and then you can come to California and no one would know. Like
Yep.
that can, I don't know. It's actually like I found this out recently. I guess it's a shame secret in my dad's side of the family. I think
Oh,
it's
Lord.
like my great grandfather. Someone in my family on my dad's side had two separate families and like got away with it for years because. And then
Wow.
I guess from like listening to your podcast, like that's not uncommon. I was like, wait, what? I don't even have time for one family.
Oh, back in the day, man, you could just tell you're telling your kid or your wife you're off to go get a pack of cigarettes and just never come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
They used to do that stuff in the
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah, that's the sad thing is that like all these people that would go like prospecting or whatever, like They could have gone prospecting, or
Or they were
could have
definitely
just
going
been
to
like,
prospect for something. But
they were going to do something, and yeah, like there was no way to track these people. So what are you going to do? You know,
he's starting
So-
a franchise. Plotting new
Could you
land.
imagine, like, you could just walk into a bar and say that you're like a celebrity, and people like can't pull up a way to. People like they have to believe you. They're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure. There's a painting of you. Clearly, it's you. So it was really fun. I've been really enjoying your podcast because it's just, I don't know, it's just so interesting to think, and something very human about it, that people have been pieces of shit forever. We just
that's
do it
what
differently
humanizes
now.
everybody.
It's not getting any
We're
better.
great. 10 out of 10.
But we're just absolutely
For centuries.
garbage.
Just certainly
Yep,
humbling,
yep.
isn't it?
Yep, doesn't matter what time it happened. Everyone's garbage. That's
Except that.
It's true. We all have our wonderful moments. And
exactly.
what was it? Let me think here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm glad that you like the podcast. That's good to hear.
Yeah, that's really
I
nice.
heard so many Oregon Trail references, so I was like, okay, we're in a.
I was listening.
we're
I
the
was just
same
listening to the newest
generation.
episode today. Actually, that was
That
fun.
was
I will freely admit that right after that, I was looking online to see if there's any way I could play the Yukon Trail on my Chromebook. And you definitely
And?
can't.
Don't
So
be
I need
Aw.
some funds to get a real
Yeah, it's a
computer.
Chromebook for you.
Yeah.
Boo.
God, I used to love
Boo.
that
I have
game.
mine.
You'd always
I'm
die
using
from
mine.
like Furia.
Yep. I would always die from dysentery or a snake bite. And it's like, well, Yeah.
Snake bite.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
I just made
Scorpion.
poor decisions. I would starve or something.
Usually, my teacher would get pissed off that I'm playing and shut it off on me before I found out.
And
And now,
well, the thing
and now teachers are worried about kids playing Minecraft. So
that's true.
jumping on a
Yeah.
server and going.
One of the things I really enjoyed about your podcast, because it takes place, I'm such an empath. Like, I don't like modern day true crime. It can, especially if it's like kids, it hurt my heart. But like, because it's so long ago, I have no empathy for.
I don't know. If a kid gets
No
murdered in
empathy.
1800, I still feel sad.
Yeah.
100 years
awesome.
ago, so it's like, I don't know.
Great grandparents.
You're like, yeah, they cut off a generation.
I know. And I feel like that's part of why I like it too, is that a lot of the stuff these people do, they're just such human pieces of garbage that like you don't feel bad for them because
No.
yeah, this happened. Like, there's no way you would know these people. It's not like you're gonna like put something out on the internet and then get a cease and desist letter from somebody like, hey, that's, you're slandering my name.
They're from times where they were so bleak and hard, and I mean, just no different how people were raised back then, let alone the overall culture. I mean, Jesus, I mean, you'd be lucky if you didn't turn out to be a serial killer or had killed somebody by the time you were a teenager, let alone, it's not like now where you could have a poor upbringing and still go to therapy and be okay, in the right circumstance. You know what I mean? Like, if you're on the Old West, I mean, what are you doing? You're not going to go see the local therapist. Maybe
Hey,
you
Doc,
might find the
I feel-
opium den if you're lucky.
Hey doc, I feel sad. Can I have something for it? Here's some
Yeah,
cocaine. Great.
Go visit the local opium den
Yeah.
in the corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They're like, that's too funny.
Yep.
I know. It's nice. It doesn't glamorize like serial killers because it's so long ago. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
They're just a little dead.
Yeah.
No,
And
I-
I try to make sure that we really don't like glamorize any of the bad guys in this. Like, I want to make sure that like with the episode we did where we covered Fanny Adams, which was a really sad crime against a child, like I really wanted to make sure that we were respectful to what happened to her and how shitty kind of things kind of turned out for her, and also just lambast the guy who was the asshole that killed her. So because he was kind of a piece of shit.
Because he was super blatant. Like, he barely covered his tracks.
Yeah.
And he did heinous
He was straight
things
warpath
in a
from the
very
get-go.
short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, in a pretty public place. Like,
Yeah.
it was insane.
Mhm.
And so after that, we were like, should we talk about puppies?
Funny
like, I don't know.
Do you end on a nice note, or-
want to do this again?
Just like all you do is the end. You guys are just staring blankly at the screen, and then it just cuts to a Care Bear episode.
Some My Little Pony
Something-
starts playing in the
right. The
background.
rainbows. Make it the
we
new My
we
Little
always end
Pony.
with something good.
Yeah.
We always end with something good, and I think that's really important for us to kind of like
To find like a happy story
reacclimate
in
after
the
we
news
talk
somewhere.
about something like that.
Right? Because
Yeah.
you're not
Mhm.
like in that negative mindset, you know, and that controls the rest of your day. At least something happy at the end. You're like, okay.
I think that'd
Yeah.
be fun at the end of every
Right.
episode. Just have like a nice, like, positive, like, oh, these firemen saved a basket of kittens. You know, like just like the relief moment. Listen, you go with all this hard stuff. You need something positive at the end. You're
Exactly.
like, wow, that was really refreshing.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy helped that person. That was great. You know, one of those type of things.
Yep.
Like, and gone. Moving on. Next murder.
Yep.
Yep.
And there's been a huge like true crime podcast boom. Is it safe to assume that you also listened to Serial when it was like?
Yes.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
I did.
Mhm.
He did it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
I
kid
never
did it.
did.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he did.
For a
yeah.
while, it's like, no way, he didn't do it. And then I think more evidence come forward, be like, no, he did it.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because I'm pretty sure that's the first podcast I ever actually listened to was Serial. Now that I
A
think
lot of
about
people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was huge.
They broke it
Poppin'.
into like an old timey like radio, like or like a radio channel, like an old school like talk radio type of
Exactly.
situation. How it was laid out. That opened like a lot of the framework for a lot of these drama now. All these full casted dramas and stuff. You know, it's like unsolved mysteries, but audio. I mean, it's totally doable
Yeah.
if you have the right casting and the sound effects and. Our friends in American Wasteland. I mean, he does this every time. My friend Earth Collective. There's a whole bunch of people. There's some more sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, but the same idea.
Yeah.
The same emotion. Yeah, I never saw a Serial, saw it or heard it, listened to it. Probably because I listened to so many of those type of things, like last podcast on the left or anything like that. You listen to enough of those every day. You're like, I don't need a whole series of just one thing.
Mhm.
Like when they do 3 episodes, I'm like, and you know, you ever listen to them, they get heinous. So they don't wax the details, but they do it in a really dark, funny way, and only they can pull that off.
Yeah.
It gets much sometimes, especially when they talked about you guys mentioned in one of the episodes just recently, the Nazi scientist, the one that was murdering everybody that died in Belize or died in South America.
Oh yeah.
Shit, why can't I remember his name now? He was the one that got away, pretty much. Like, they just found him dead on a beach. Like, he just died.
Krieger from
old
Archer.
age.
That's all I can think of.
What's that?
Krieger from Archer.
Well, that's
No, you guys keep going. I'll find him.
That's historically accurate.
As we all
and I
know,
agree.
he's a
Find him.
genetic clone of Adolf Hitler. If anyone doesn't
Yeah, we
watch
should.
Archer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
No,
Your
I'll find
authority
him.
We
is
should
not
promote that as true.
your authority is not recognized in Fort Kickass. So
It's so cute.
Too funny.
Yeah,
I-
and yeah, there's a bunch
Oh,
of like,
Mangala.
true crime podcasts out, but you guys are like in a different playing field though, because you do like
Mhm.
1900s era, and most of the other ones are like what's happening now or the crazy nonsense that's happening in the world.
Past
So
50 years or so.
it's
Yeah.
nice to like disconnect and still listen to like a good true crime podcast.
thank you.
I grew up listening to,
Yeah.
well, watching unsolved mysteries and stuff.
Oh,
I'm just
same.
watching that today,
Same.
actually.
Hard same. Yes.
Mhm.
So good. Like, oh, it's
I
on
wanna
right
be-
now. Let's go.
It's
I
great on
know.
Netflix right now, too. They're doing a great job.
R.I.P.
Mhm.
Robert Stack.
I
Mm.
know.
The OG.
I will say,
The
though, I'm
OG.
surprised how well it is still. Like, how good it still holds, like, even without him,
Yeah.
which is
I mean,
surprising.
Even hearing the music today, goosebumps. Like
It's like,
full on
Brings back
goosebumps.
memories.
Yeah.
It's that one and what's that kid show? Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
You listen to those two, it's
Ah.
just like chills up your back. Tales from the Crypt, same thing.
Yeah, all
Mhm.
that creepy stuff when we shouldn't have
truly-
watched when we were
It's
kids.
so
but we did.
funny.
I know. And we wonder why we're kind
I-
of messed up now. So
I don't wonder.
I was afraid of Are You Afraid of the Dark
Yeah.
and Tales from the Crypt.
Same.
I would not watch them. I would watch Unsolved Mysteries for days. Like real crime, I'm all about it. Like Tales
I
from the
think
Crypt,
The difference of people
who's
watching.
that creepy skeleton guy? I don't know.
Well, I think it's
think
I think it's like
Nightmare.
like we're watching horror gore versus like the TLC TLC channel watching surgery. Like you watch that, you're like, I'm not seeing. No, that's gross. I'm out of here, man. But you go, oh, that guy's being ripped in half. Like, you know, it's fake. Your brain doesn't care. You're aware of these things. It's the same idea with the crime situation too. You get something, you're like, no, that's a bridge too far. I'm all set. And that's gonna sit with me way too long. Or the music, same thing. I will say though, Tales of the Crypt does not hold up. It does not hold up.
No.
Fear of the Dark feels better than that one in a lot of ways, but no, it's just all that identifiable. I think, but I was thinking, one of the big things too I like about your show too, as much as like with our friend, like how Bree is here with her buddy, her best bud Nessa, and our other friends too. Like one of mine here in New Hampshire, You Are the Worst, which is another like they do paranormal crime and all kinds of stuff too. You guys should link up with them; they're amazing. Is the connection and the flow between you guys? I mean, it helps being siblings, but even the ones that aren't and just act like siblings, like those two, like Bree and Nessa, it's just nonstop back and forth. Like there's no awkward pause. You know, it's not like it doesn't feel like a first date or something.
Where
you're like watching a plane crash and you're just like,
it's all in slow motion. It's like watching, it's like the show Lost or something.
Who's older?
Oh man,
I am the older one, and there's a 6-year difference between us. So.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, my siblings are all 7.
Yeah.
We're all 7 years apart.
Wow.
Mhm.
Are you guys the only siblings?
Yes.
Aww.
Yes.
That's so nice. That you guys
Mom and
are
Dad happy that you're like, oh, they're doing a podcast together.
just about killing people.
Tell them about the other day when you went up to visit them.
With what?
When you went up to visit them, what were they doing in the car?
Oh, they were listening to us. Like I dropped something off for my parents, and we had like a rendezvous point at the Dairy Queen, right, where we're dropping stuff off, and
Daily bars.
They roll the windows down, and I hear my voice, and I'm like, no, make it stop! What are you doing? And they had all of them like downloaded.
That's really
and pulled
sweet.
up. It was cute. The second I hear my voice,
I'm glad my family hasn't quite caught on to all this or cared yet. Like my son, like will do it occasionally. My wife was starting interested in the podcasting idea, because I've kind of forced it down her throat every Tuesday night here, doing this here, and then after this, I'll do my live music thing, at 10 o'clock. So it's kind of just become incorporated into this house.
Yeah,
whether she likes it or not.
And you guys have like no shortage of like content either, because you start from the 1900s and you go up, and there's always going to be something. What was your favorite episode that you've done? Do you have one?
That's a hard one for me because I like all of them for certain reasons.
Right.
Why don't you go first, Maddie, and I'll think about it.
Well, I think honestly we had the most fun about the animal crimes.
That one was
that
pretty
was
good.
one that like it was just so lighthearted and ridiculous. It was so funny, and like the French had so many crimes against pigs. And like at first we were like, what's going on? And then my boyfriend actually, he was like, oh yeah, like the French notoriously starved their pigs. Like they were not good to their livestock.
It sounds like
so of
that
course
movie,
they're gonna like
Hannibal.
eat babies' faces. And I was like, what? I did not know
movie,
that. It checked out
Hannibal,
a little bit.
I think it is.
But yeah, they would like regularly
It's like dogs.
not feed them and mistreat them. So yeah, so they just like snap, and children were at level. So yeah.
Oh my god! Should we have had a warning before we started? We're gonna talk about pigs and faces.
Yeah, they did every single time. They ate faces every single time, and I kept waiting for her to be like, they're gonna eat an arm or something. No, face always.
That's how you get rid of a body, right?
I had a hard time.
They'll like eat anything and leave it to the bone. Yeah, I've seen. What was it? Yeah, a couple of movies that like they just feed the bodies to pigs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pigs and
Yeah,
goats
they do.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Yep.
Goats as
That's
well. If
great.
you're looking to get rid of something.
I think
Right?
one of my favorite episodes is along the pig vein was the one where we covered Alfred Packer, the Colorado cannibal, because
I had a
you
hard
were
time with that one.
because you were so uncomfortable, but you like laughed a lot
Because she was uncomfortable.
because she was uncomfortable, and you got really mad about like certain things, and so that was really funny for me because that wasn't the reaction I was anticipating you were gonna have. So you would like it was just a really funny back and forth episode for me. Like watching your reactions to stuff was really entertaining for me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I could provide that for you because
Thank you. Thank you.
didn't know how to process that, so I just shut down.
Have you guys seen The Platform on Netflix? That scary movie about them. They go into this platform, it goes up and down, and like
I'll be
all
right
the
back,
food
guys.
starts up at the top, and then it like goes down to the bottom. Then there's like no food, and people have to start eating each other.
Hmm.
Yeah, that just
Oh.
made me think about that, and just people eating each other. I just can't. I can't.
Actually,
Anyway.
there's a lab in England that you can grow your own meat, like from your cheeks.
No, thank you.
Ooh.
So you-
For
yeah,
what? Or like
you can grow your own steaks and like eat yourself essentially
wow.
by like
Oh.
swabbing your cheek.
Yummy.
Oh yeah. I've actually was reading up on that the other day because I was
Just
messing
casual reading.
Well, I was
That was a
messing.
normal
I
thing
like
to
to
read
mess
on.
with my my sister's boyfriend. He's a vegetarian, but he's also kind of starting to go vegan a little bit. And I like to
Mhm.
screw with him all the time about this and just come up with these crazy like side things. Like, well, if it wasn't an actual animal and it was just the cells, and they've been in a lab and it's every bit meat, would it technically make you a vegan if you ate that?
What the answer?
Or would it make you a cannibal if you ate yourself?
This
So
is
if you were to
true.
They
grow
said
your
it-
own meat.
I mean, if you
They
did that,
said
at
it
least then
wasn't
maybe
cannibalism, and
wouldn't
I
have so many
failed to
murderers.
understand why.
Yeah.
In your research,
There's obviously a
is there a lot
psychological
of
problem there.
cannibals?
I would have to imagine
There
there's
was?
a certain level of abuse or something going psychological broken in them to where they're like, this tastes good, even though I know this is not. This
Or
is
compliment
me.
to yourself.
Yeah, right.
Right?
That is quite the compliment. Nails, my fingernails, no. My cuticles, no. My fingers. Okay,
My legs. I'm sorry, Chris. Go on, Rebel.
peel them like a
Oh, I'm
banana.
sorry.
right?
I hit the wrong button on my phone. My SteamYard
Oh,
got a little
Jesus
messed
Christ.
up. Sorry.
All right.
Go ahead, eat it.
I'm going through my questions here. I have one. I'm gonna save to the end because I know Bree is gonna look at me like I'm absolutely out of my mind.
Usually,
Yes.
This is a real like out there, and I'm not the person because it's one of those things. Like, okay, you guys could be on our show, it could be another person's show, blah blah blah, and then much like a celebrity or something, you eat the same questions over and over again because you know you're a crime show. You're fun. Ladies are having fun, so it's like.
Yep.
There's only so many times you can ask here the same damn questions
Yep.
and rephrase them. So I'm kind of going the out of the box mentality with them.
Okay.
Let's think. Well, I'm gonna kind of go. I'm gonna go through a normal one right now, though. Through the cases you guys have looked at or have done at this point, of the episodes you've done or coming up, what do you think is probably one of the most bizarre? Like just like what the hell?
I mean,
like
Big Face is pretty.
yeah, I mean it
Pretty
is.
up
I mean, there's
there.
so many though. That's the thing. It's not. It's like watching Hannibal Lecter or something over here. It's like, okay, how does he do him? I'll do. Oh my. Oh, well
I
played.
think like in the last episode that we did, the animal crimes one, the fact
Now I
that
have to watch this.
they took dolphins to court
Hey,
and they
Yeah.
murder dolphins for some reason in Marseille. Like that's like, all right, what they do. Like why would you kill dolphins? It was such a random
know too
weird
much.
thing.
I think it's one of those bizarre when they just needed somebody to blame.
Yes.
Like we can't handle humans, so we have to blame something.
Mhm.
We have to call it something. It's like the Salem witch trials. Like, oh, we all know there's no witches, but the reality is the mob mentality. But like, hey, I don't like what you look like. I don't like the fact that you called me out. So I'm gonna scream you're a witch.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that's all it took.
Mhm.
And then mass hysteria. But ironically, it's not very different than today. Ironically
much,
enough,
yeah.
mob mentality.
Well,
That's all it is.
and there's a
So if-
theory now too that a lot of the people that were like seeing people get them, they were eating
Hallucinogen.
psychedelic mushrooms.
yeah. Mushrooms
Oh, yeah,
or something in
and-
the water or something, they were saying.
Yeah, and then
Um,
like the last person you saw, you were like, "Why are you in my bedroom? Why do you now have wings? Like, what's
no
happening?"
kidding, right? I mean, like I said back in the day, you had to have try to find a reason to understand the world around you, and unfortunately, it's always like, oh, the volcano. Oh, but ancient times, there was the angry god that needed appeasing with a virgin. It's
Mhm.
that misunderstanding of trying to understand the world, with inexperienced eyes. It's like a child looking at something and trying to understand what that is. It's not going to be quite right. So I can only imagine what some of these serial killers are thinking too, psychologically. Who knows what kind of mental state they really are seeing the world through. It's like being colorblind. Some people don't even know they're colorblind for years. That's just the world that they know, and then you put the glasses on them, and all of a sudden they're like, it's like a freaking drug trip.
Yep.
And they realize, what's that, Brie?
Are we rationalizing, normalizing serial killers because of
No, but it's the
mental illness?
it's the psychiopathy of it all. You know what I mean? Like,
Psychopathy. That's a beautiful word.
you're welcome.
That was very good.
Yeah, why,
Actually.
does anyone know why people are serial killers? Like, is there?
It's a
I don't
nurture
know the
nature
reasoning.
situation usually.
Sometimes, I mean, it might go on.
There's
they know more than
also,
us.
well, one of my favorite podcasts, My Favorite Murder,
Yeah.
they always ask if there was a traumatic brain injury as a kid.
Mhm.
Like, did they
Mm.
fall or did they
Triad.
do something like that? And
That-
there's a huge
Mhm.
percentage of them where they've had a traumatic brain injury as a kid.
Brain
and
injury,
like,
some sort
just a
of
part their brain never
drowning, or
developed.
Yep.
something
Yeah.
psychological. That, or it's like I said, or it's abuse or something like that. Neglect when they're really, really little, or infants, to where they don't have the emotional thing, so they don't have that emotional imprint in their brain, so they don't. So they're just completely blank. My family friend actually has 2 kids like that. One of them is just, it's just baseline. Like, he's got to go to therapy he's like 10, like therapy on a regular basis, because he just doesn't understand emotion at all. So it's like that. It's that weird line. I look at my mom like, is this kid just gonna come at us one day? And I don't know. Like, thankfully, well-off family, so they're able to take care of him and get him
The answer
help.
is no,
Right.
for anyone listening. We're not accusing any children of being
Well,
serial
I will
killers.
say,
No, but it's one of those funny things to see.
or
In, like, in third
anecdotally,
person.
he'll probably become a surgeon.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to
He'll become
say. A lot,
Right?
That's the whole
It's
nature
like
versus nurture
disconnect.
thing.
Yeah. Disconnect to stuff like that.
Yeah. There's not that many sociopaths in the world, and off mic, I can tell you all some stories of some people of some things about I can behavioral health, so I have to follow by HIPAA. But I've worked with some interesting people, because once you get the antisocial diagnosis, no one wants to work with you. So sometimes you get the we call that adult, and I've had some experiences I will not talk about on live, so I can keep my job.
There you go.
Fair.
Good job.
But yeah, I've only had one experience in my life where I've met someone and I was just like, my soul got cold. Like, I was just like, oh God. Yeah. Ugh. But they're in jail. So that's good.
Unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast.
They're in jail.
Unfortunately.
Great.
Well, that's good.
At least you still
Yeah.
feel it. It's not like some people are dealing with people for so long they get kind of cold to it all. It's like they're desensitized.
Mhm.
It's like, gosh, it's just a job. Like, that's probably when you should stop doing it, is when you don't feel anymore.
Yeah.
No, that's
like that.
exactly when you need to stop doing it.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
right.
you'll start hurting people.
Like,
Yep.
What is that from Beef
or just
Vendetta?
laugh it off. Everything's just murder is just funny now because it's all you know how to feel.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like, we're gonna start moving on to cartoons now or something.
So,
Jesus.
like,
But the Care
for
Bears
someone
episodes.
who's never listened to your podcast, how would you explain it, and which episode should they start with?
I'll
For a
explain
murder
it.
podcast, it's not very morbid.
Yeah. I'll explain it, Maddie, if you want to think of a good starter episode. So
I have a
basically,
good starter episode.
okay, our podcast is basically we cover funny, strange, and pretty obscure crimes in history. A lot of them obviously happen in Europe and things like that because we here in the United States didn't have a whole lot of history prior to the 1700s, really. So a lot of them do happen overseas. But yeah, we try to find a good mix of paranormal stories, true crime stories. I like the ones that have a lot of con artists in them because I think they're kind of fun, the things they would get away with. What do you think, Maddie, for an intro episode?
I think the phallic episode, all the phallic art in Rome. I think that's the best one because it's something that's super ridiculous and lighthearted. But it's just so strange how they had like penises directing you to brothels and like
very creative.
Like they were everywhere.
I mean, kind of.
Penises are
brothels.
brothels.
It gets right to the point, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's like
it's an arrow. Jesus, head of the gunner.
It's like go here. Don't follow the balls. Follow the front. No, go ahead.
Yep.
Don't go around the back. Just go right
Don't
in.
go around.
You ever wonder if they like went underground accidentally for any reason?
Yeah, just
they came out through the sewer system. That's not how that works.
Bury them alive.
Waste.
All right, now that she's gone.
Rude.
All right, this is the fun one now, and this is a work in progress. So let's see if I say this right. If you were suddenly woke up and you were an old-timey killer, I mean, whatever generation you want, I want you to build me the best sandwich that represents you.
Oh my God, you're talking about? Damn it! Like eyeballs, eyeball sandwich.
Well, it doesn't have to be goddamn grotesque. Not everybody eats people.
I don't know.
The best one that represents you.
It's old time.
Now you
As
can
a
wake up as
killer?
any serial killer
Would
you
guys
want,
be
like in history.
Cannibal killers, or
like if you do, which one is it? What is your favorite sandwich? What is it? What is it made of? Aha, Chris, you missed a fun one.
My apologies.
We're gonna listen to them.
I can go.
Sandwiches that
You go ahead, Maddie.
they would eat.
Okay. I think I would be I would make like a lovely tea cake sandwich, like a super delicate one, because I would be somebody who would poison using
God
something
damn it! I
really
knew you were gonna take
nondescript.
it, you bitch.
Yep.
No, I
Like
gotta do
makeup.
something different.
Or like herbal tea, or I would sell something really nondescript that like would murder a bunch of people. That's
One of those
Like at a
lady
party
yeah.
in Champagne or something, and like a tea.
yeah. Like
She's a fancy
there's
killer.
one woman that we're probably gonna do soon that was one of the most prolific poisoners in history, and she used makeup, and then she would give this makeup to the women that were coming to her, and they were coming to her because they had like abusive men in their life, and they would just
Nice.
murder their abusive husbands. And she got away with it for like
I've heard of this story.
decades.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
heard that.
Like,
I get
They
it
make a
mentally
movie
mixed
out of
up with a
that,
lot
or-
of the Angel of Death ones.
Yeah. There's an alarming number of Angel of Death stories. So
What's that?
like when you are in the healthcare profession and you decide to kill your patients instead of cure them.
Are we
Yeah.
not supposed to do that?
It's generally
boy.
frowned upon.
I've been doing
They
that
do it to
for-
elderly. They do
Oh,
it to people that they
sugar.
feel like they're not going to get better, or
Yeah.
Ooh.
they may have that.
If they were a good angel of death, otherwise they just did it for fun. They didn't really
Well,
care. Like
Took the-
people could have
Kevorkian,
recovered.
right?
They
he took
did.
the this is proto Kevorkian before you figure out how to just do it without actually touching anything. Like he went Charles Manson. He just
Yeah.
convinced everybody else to do it for him for a cost. Like here's the
Yeah.
button.
Psycho genius.
Listen,
Well, Sister Suicide's
what's your
different.
Great,
sandwich,
let's eat your
Lindsay?
sandwich.
Well, now I feel like I gotta do something
Now that I
different
took the good one.
because Maddie took poison. So I knew I should have gone first. You bitch. Um,
The youngest
Let's
wins
see.
again.
Hey, Madison, is that a Cubone and a Groot I see in your background?
Yes.
Nice. I like looking at people's backgrounds.
You give me Breeze over here looking at me about my question.
I'm waiting for you to say like it's a normal sandwich with some turkey, but it's really someone's skin or something.
Let's
No.
see.
What do y'all eat?
I think I would probably also do some sort of poison, but I would. I don't know.
raisin.
Yeah.
You gonna go Mediterranean?
Ooh.
Maybe do a pita.
Are we murdering people?
Get some
We're murdering
hemlock.
people.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Could
we
do
have to
some-
figure out what sort
you
of
could do
sandwich
some,
we
like-
would make.
Oh, tomato mozzarella with prosciutto, obviously.
Like
Obviously.
if they were like bad guys in the old times,
Should I repeat the
kind of
question for
sandwich
Chris?
would they make?
No, now I want that sandwich. All that pig talk.
I
made
don't
me
like
hungry.
tomatoes, so you're all set. Enjoy.
TikTok. Perfect.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I would make something that had like an au jus, and the au jus had something in it that you probably shouldn't ingest.
Oh,
Does
Murder.
au jus smell like almonds? Bitter almonds?
It's a slightly almond
Extra
smell
bitter.
to it. Tastes like
Do your
butter.
homework, find out they're like violently allergic to something.
ooh.
There you go.
That's a fun one. Just do like just the oil inside it when nobody knows back in those days and no idea.
It's just
Yep.
all peanut oil is the au jus.
Yeah.
It's just direct peanut oil.
Just make
Look at
that
the-
concept, damn
EpiPens.
it.
No EpiPens. You just fall over dead.
Nope.
You're just gonna
Yep.
Make him
breathing there.
some chop suey, the chop suey next to the opium den.
go to witch doctors.
Hey, have you ever done any episodes? I've only listened to a few, so I'm not terribly familiar. But have you done ones about people who like fake their own death or anything? And any tips on how to fake your own death?
We haven't
Asking
done
for a
any
friend.
Fake your own.
Don't tell
Any
anybody.
fake your own.
It's really hard.
It's harder,
really
I think, now
hard
to do it.
now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, these days, yeah.
But I mean, there are plenty of drugs that you can take that will like stop your heart, and then with some good old adenosine, you can restart it. But
That
it
sounds-
hurts like a
I bet.
bitch.
Are you a nurse?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I
She
was a
used to be a
pharmacy technician.
oh,
Okay. Oh, that's dangerous. That's why you're like this and this specific.
Well,
I would say be like Dexter or something. Just fake your death by drowning or something in a storm, and then just wake up. You're a month later as a lumberjack somewhere.
yeah, that would have been a better ending.
And
than
show
what they did.
ending. Yeah.
I've had my heart stopped without any drugs, and now I want some drugs. Thank you, medicine.
No, I just want
I've
to get.
seen it. I've seen it work before. It's
gotta be pretty
insane.
cool, right?
Like I've
Yeah.
seen it actually reset somebody's heart. And there's that moment. There's like the 1 second before their heart beats again, and everybody's just like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
you didn't kill this person, right? And then they're fine. And then you're like, okay.
I
All right,
I
we
could-
did it, team. We can leave.
but like,
High
I could
fives all
see-
around.
yeah. I know it's gonna sound strange, but I could see if like the wiring in your brain is wrong. Like that's addicting. Like that feeling. Like that's the same thing for gambling addicts.
Oh yeah.
That the moment. Like that we just
Mhm.
crack serial killers. They're just addicts. It's a killing.
Yep.
We
That's
figured
the
it out.
reward
Absolutely.
system.
Or auto
Well, we always
asphyxiation.
joke-
That doesn't do, I guess. But
When I worked in the hospital, we would travel to the different wards and stuff, and in the psych ward, I would
where
have
I
to
am.
like refill the machines. Yeah. And the nurses every time would joke. They'd be like, "So have you figured out how to diffuse Ativan yet?" To just like put in the vents.
I know. Oh my
I
god.
was like, if we figured that out, the pharmacy staff would utilize it first.
I was gonna say when did they have made benzos less addictive? I mean,
Yeah,
Jesus.
Healthcare workers have the most twisted sense of humor, and it's fantastic.
Well,
It's true.
Like
Gotta
you can't
have
walk around
to.
being,
Really true.
you can't joke about like, oh man, I just got to steal some pronopropol, and they're like, wait, what? I'm like, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
Well, that's
Right.
like, I mean, Jesus, that's like my wife had a C-section for God's sakes, and the doctors are talking about their kid's freaking little league team as I'm watching them pull everything out, and actually I'm too close to the curtain line so I can see everything that's going on, but I'm in shock, so I don't know what's going. I'm not getting physically affected by it, but I'm like they're just talking about their kids' t-ball. I'm like, what the hell? It's just so mundane to them, and I'm like, I was just gonna stare them down, but I'm like, it's too late now.
It's so normalized to them.
Yeah, I used to work in the
point.
OR.
It's desensitized.
Yeah.
It's to that point now where it's just like, they take out trash, whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I'll tell like my family or my wife, and I just like have to look back, and they're just. I'm like, oh, is that not normal? Okay, good. I'll pull back.
Yeah. I had a patient once that tried to steal my shoes in a psych ward when I was delivering medications.
That's
like
fun.
right off my feet while I was walking. And I also I saw a spine when working in the OR, and I was not ready for it. Super white, like you wouldn't believe. It's kind of crazy. And then when I thought I was like, okay, I work in the OR, I can deal with this. I looked into a window and saw a foot getting removed, like at the time, and I just went, nope, like I'm not ready.
That's the stuff that's just sit in your mind.
Like that though.
Like no more delivering of meds at that point. They had to come to the window. I was done that day.
No, my buddy used to talk about weird things like which is stupid, like working for LabCorp, which you wouldn't think is a big deal, but sometimes, but they had to go to certain facilities to get that stuff, and they get the samples, and they're literally like scooping the poop as they're doing it. Like, oh yeah, they're joking, it's fresh, ha 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 ha. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I mean, if you don't laugh about it, you're gonna go crazy. So
yeah,
you didn't care. It was like whatever. Yeah. It's just another day to them. Oh, this has got blood all in his urine. Oh, we'll get a check. This Dan guy's probably on drugs again. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, the weirdest thing, at least from like more my feelings. I'm not at this point in my career. I'm outpatient, but I've worked at different sectors of it. But I remember more than once if I've talked someone down from suicide while eating pizza. And a part of you is like annoyed because you really want your pizza, which I know it's going to say, and obviously
that's the moment when you're like,
oh my god, don't fucking try to.
I got to question my life moral ethics right now. I want to eat pizza more than I want to do this.
well, I mean, it's
save a life or eat pizza.
We're not bad people. Like what is it? I forgot. There's a term for it. That's that something escalator theory. Like anything in your life just becomes neutral. So like you have to. You just get used to whatever it is. Like whatever. It's usually about 6 months. Whether it's a horrible trauma or something incredible happens to you. Like 6 months later, it's just like the pandemic. By like month 6, we're like, all right, this is the way.
I mean, it becomes your new normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But again,
and a lot of it is like compartmentalizing things too, where you're like, okay, yeah, I know I need to do this thing, but I still really want to eat this pizza. Like, this is my time.
Yeah.
This is my pizza.
And nobody died, just everyone knows.
An analogy or metaphor for the country right now. It really is. It's just like, man, everything's going to hell. Everything sucks. And it's never going to be the way it used to be. But I just really want pizza. Like that's all that matters to me right now. You get to that point where that's all the world is. It's just
that's how Bree and I met.
Good piece of pizza as the world's burning. It's like I got my pizza. It's fun. This is hot too. It's fine.
Bree and I met on Twitter because we would tweet about pizza. Like years ago.
And The Simpsons, and like I like black olive, mushroom, yellow mustard, and for Valentine's Day I put candy hearts on it, and it was just
on your pizza.
Yeah,
that will absolutely never, ever, ever improve with me. Every time I hear that, it's just it's going the other way.
It's so good.
Okay, so then my question is pineapple good on pizza? Is pineapple to go on pizza?
Yes.
Sure. I think cooked fruit in general is just.
I don't like it.
Happen.
I love pineapple.
Too much acidity.
I don't like pineapple in a lot of things, but I like it in pizza.
But warm pineapple just makes you gag.
But it's one of the most classic.
I'm going to disagree with you on that, Bree.
Cooked fruits.
I'm going to respectfully
It's okay to be wrong. Okay.
I do like a Hawaiian, but I do if I have my choice, it's grilled pineapple. It's prosciutto. It's and usually I'll put jalapenos on it.
Oh,
okay.
What you get the sweet, you get the savory, you get the hot. What?
The sweet, savory, and hot. I've never tried that.
It's great. I got it once by accident from I don't like Domino's.
Yeah.
They screwed up and gave me the wrong order and they added it to it. And I'm like sitting there burning my mouth to death, but I'm like, this is so sweet at the same time. This is all over the place. This is amazing. So I just started making it at home now.
I love getting the wrong order, eating like half of it, and then returning it. Like, oh, I didn't notice. Make it again.
And do another one for free.
I got one for the next 2 days.
My favorite. Actually, my favorite pizza mistake I've ever had is there's a place where my parents live now, and you can have your own personal pizzas. It's a pizzeria. So I asked for a pepperoni pizza, right? It was like just plain, not feeling it, wanted the OG. I get it, and it has nothing but broccoli on it.
No, that's gross.
No, see,
And
I like okay.
Not really well cooked broccoli.
Oh, see,
I was like, no, that's
how do you
just what it
mess that
was.
No, I like grilled
broccoli and
chicken
cheese.
pizza, barbecue pizza with broccoli on it. I'll do that.
But she, she set it down, and I looked at it, and my parents looked at it, and we kind of looked back up, and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Broccoli pizza. That's what you said." And I was like,
did I?
Nope.
Nobody's ever said that.
Right?
And then she blamed the mistake on the cooks. But when we got the bill, it said broccoli on the pizza ticket.
So we're not going to ask them for a sponsor?
Kind of sounds the same.
No, but we always joke about broccoli pizza. Like, it's just uncooked broccoli on pizza. It was.
Oh, that's gross. At least be cooked, for God's sakes. Like, my wife always wants broccoli on pretty much. Like, if we have that or Hawaiian or like a barbecue chicken pizza, is always like she wants broccoli on it because she doesn't like onions and such. I have to put something on it. It's freaking vegetable, or I'm gonna freak out because of her. She just put pure garbage on it and she'll be fine. Like, yellow mustard, all that kind of stuff.
Yum.
Yo, you're making me want pizza, all of you.
I know.
I know. Now I'm gonna go upstairs and be like, I know we just had dinner, but now I need pizza. So bye.
Hey, so, Lindsay, what's the cool? It's a little blurry. What's all the cool stuff in your background? I see some books and some stuffed animals, possibly.
This is like a third of my library, and I have my sock monkey that I made, and this is a jackalope.
Jackalope.
And just a little bear, but I have lots of fun little things on my walls, and we have our plague doctor over here too.
We're gonna start making.
I was just gonna say,
there you go.
There we go.
It's perfect.
That's very apt, isn't it? For as a mascot, huh? Like,
Mortimer.
I have the incense beak over here.
There you go.
It's perfect for the
I start putting
pandemic.
stuff in my background from all my our wonderful guests. Just make a wall of stuff.
I've been thinking about that. I need to find a studio or something.
I was joking with Maddie when we were talking about the plague doctor things, I think before Halloween, and I was like, this year there's going to be like sexy plague doctor costumes or something crazy like that, and
there were so many. Yeah,
I thought
I was joking, but it actually exists. So
I'm thankful people actually tried to do it in public,
right?
though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, Brie?
Well, the sexy Gandalf was a thing too. Remember that girl?
Yeah, Ian McKellen.
Yeah. That was cool.
I mean, you have the mask, so technically that's like the single easiest costume in the world at this point, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you could
if you were going by like the Mean Girls logic, it would just be like the beak with like black lingerie and a cane, and you're like, I'm a sexy plague doctor, and then that's your Halloween costume,
just like that.
And that's like start turning into like freaking Beetlejuice over here with a elongated face.
Man, that movie. Do you guys watch a lot of scary movies? Or
wash
your hands, kids.
Wash your hands.
I do not watch scary movies.
You don't watch scary movies? Is it because you can't handle it, or?
I don't like gore, which is funny because I worked in healthcare. And definitely,
and you can listen to and read about murder and death all day.
Yes,
but watch a movie with gore and it's like, nope, I'm good.
No, see, that doesn't bother me. The only thing I don't like with horror is ghost shit. I don't like messing with ghost stuff.
I have a hard time. I have a hard time with jump scares. Those really bother me. Like I actually, I was just interviewed at another podcast called So Horrified, and we watched Boogeyman, the 2005 one.
Oh God, that's
so bad.
Heaven, right?
Yes, it's so bad. Okay. But there was this one jump scare that really got me, and I was like, God damn it! Like I knew it was coming. It's one of those things where you could feel it because the music changed, so and you're
cheap,
just like waiting. And I was just like, that was cheap, and I hate that you made me jump, and I hate this so much, and my heart hurts now, and I don't want to watch it anymore. Like, I was just so upset.
I'm just so mad.
For me, it's always so the psychological ones that sit there, and you're like, it's not a big deal at first, and then like days later, it hits you of what happened, and you're like, that shit is going to stay in my mind for days. And now I'm going to see that every time I close my freaking eyes or hear a noise or something's going on. Like, I am so screwed. Once it finally, the gears turned in at the box, Pandora's box opened in my head. Like, I get it. Oh,
I'd rather
like
watch thrillers.
Yeah, I started watching The Invisible Man recently. Yeah. And that was just...
It's a good movie.
It made me so anxious. I had to stop watching it because it made me so uncomfortable and so anxious that I was just like, I can't do it anymore. I can't because I.
Oh no!
What I did with that is because I knew about it before. Obviously, the whole movie, 90% of the movie is just Elizabeth Moss by herself, like acting the whole thing. So I constantly kept that in my head the whole time. Like this is just her doing like performance art by herself, like a one-man show pretty much, like on like a tiny budget. And you only saw her boyfriend like 15 minutes total in the damn movie.
I know.
Okay.
It helped because I knew about it before.
I think the most recent one that I tried to watch was Brightburn.
Yeah.
The
Twisted Superman one.
Nope.
That surprisingly didn't bother me.
I can't do things with eyes.
Yeah.
I can't do the things with eyes. And the second something happens to an eye, I'm out. I am gone.
I love that. I wish they made a sequel. I'm kind of pissed they didn't, or they're not.
They took an eye out, or just.
No, there was a scene where like glass exploded around this woman, and she just had like a bunch of tiny pieces of glass.
Oh my God! Nightmare.
Think of a movie. Think of the story of Superman. You know, landing here as a child and all that. Think of that, except he is evil.
Not good.
Like he comes out evil, and instead of like choosing good over evil, he is corrupt as hell, and he starts going psychotic, and he has the powers of Superman.
Yeah,
but as an unchecked, angry child.
So pubescent child.
Yeah,
we all go real quiet.
The power of hormones.
Yeah, you're selling this for me.
It's really, it's very good. Like if you can get past the body horror type of stuff, it's really good.
I just can't handle people climbing walls. Yeah. That's just
well,
there's a point where a jaw falls off of somebody, and I was done.
Yeah, see, it's funny that. Yeah, I like the like I like Saw movies. Like those don't bother me. Like, cause that's like for me is like watching the cool like mechanism and how they're building it. It's kind of interesting to me. Like that horror doesn't bother me because I know it's so unrealistic. Unless you're H.H. Holmes, you're not building anything like that. You know,
all, which one's likely to be the serial killer? Murder mystery.
The connectivity of all the stories, even if they were
CBall, got it. My vote.
Yeah, definitely CBall, right?
CBall.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Have any of you guys seen Underwater?
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I don't like. I don't usually mess with. I don't like water. I like dealing with oceans. I've almost drowned a few times, so I don't swim. I can't swim, and I don't care to.
I don't like open water, and
like
for some reason, but for some reason, I really like that one because I kind of like the
monster movie,
H.P. Lovecraft type of stuff.
Yeah. So
I was into it. I was like, oh man, it's the Kraken. Like I was like super excited for like shit to go down.
They said indirectly the director or something said it was Cthulhu.
Oh, that's right, Cthulhu.
Yeah, it was him. It was the actual creature from there where like nobody expected because they were like, oh, it's another shitty monster movie with what's her name, Kristen Stewart. Wow, so who knows what you're gonna get with her. And then it turned out
I was actually surprised because she actually did a really good job. She emoted.
It was pretty good. If you avoid the trailers, it's good.
Wow.
It's one of those movies that give everything away.
Yeah. I tend to avoid her like the plague after Twilight, but she actually did a really good job. I will give her a second chance now. That was
Well, I mean, after Robert Pattinson, I mean, proved himself
for
in
you.
spades how good of an actor he is. Go watch Lighthouse, for Christ's sakes. Wow.
I'm feeling very
Yeah.
magnanimous, Maddie.
Yes.
She just has a very
job.
flat personality about her. That's the thing. She's very kind of monotone.
Yeah.
Her face doesn't really move. It doesn't have much
Doesn't have those
expression.
muscles.
No.
No, she always looks like she's tired or uninterested.
She looks like Nicole Kidman's face now with all the plastic surgery. How like it doesn't
Yeah.
move.
Who was the one
Yeah,
my wife said she
I am
reminded me
smiling
of?
right now.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yes.
She reminded me a little bit of
Yes.
Aubrey Plaza, except Aubrey Plaza can actually improve. Like she can actually manipulate her face to not look like that. But her normal face is just this like I don't
Dead
care,
baby
almost
eyes.
bitch face.
Great
She's
face.
constantly
Yep.
uninterested.
Yep.
Just like
Yep.
yeah, it's so that's good to see. Especially like I said with Robert Pattinson, he can prove himself. I mean, he's a freaking Batman now. So
I know.
who would have thought that? Glitter Boy turned into the Dark Knight.
Glitter boy.
Ironic.
Sparkly.
Oh, so as we kind of wow, that was already an hour. That was pretty quick. But we kind of start to wrap it up. Is there anything we really missed or you want to hit on? And if not, where can people find you online?
Should we promote the Willy stuff real quick?
Yes, you should.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You should.
You should.
everything.
Go ahead.
All of it.
Okay, so real quick, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I was diagnosed in college really late. And one of the things that I had asked for when living alone was getting a service dog. And so I went through a local group
background.
called Candy
Your dog
Canines.
came in the background
I know,
as you said that.
He's like, I know you're talking about me.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
is
he's
that
gonna
two
bring his
pets?
lion. Willie, you're lion. No, that's a giant stuffed lion.
Oh,
Get
it's-
it.
So-
I just see- oh my god!
Oh, hi,
Way to bury
Willie.
the lead.
Oh, you gotta-
Started with
Oh
the
yeah, you
dog.
get a hunting stock.
Oh my
But
god!
stock.
What?
This is Willie. He's a golden retriever. Willie, come look at me. Hey,
Yeah, I used to have a red stock golden
No.
retriever. You don't see them that much.
hey, up. Can you say it?
Golden retrievers are
All right,
often
we'll
too
do it
messed
this
up.
way. There we go.
Oh, is that a cat
and
too?
a cat.
Yep, and Smooch. That's Smooch. She's a podcast cat too. You can hear her sometimes when
Yeah, they like to fuck
we're doing
everything up.
podcasting.
Yeah.
I love cats.
But-
They don't care.
I know.
Like kids.
They just don't
But
care.
Willie, he's from Can Do Canines, and he came to me at no cost. So that's part of
Wow.
their thing.
That's
Is
good.
they,
Whoa.
Not finding that in New Hampshire.
yeah,
Yeah.
they front the $25,000 that it takes to train and raise him, and they essentially give them to you with a year long period of if anything were to happen, like if I were to get too sick or something and couldn't take care of him, I could surrender him. And they do training for life. Like I am a client for life, so when he passes, I will get another dog, which we will not talk about because
He's
he's
not
going to
allowed
live
to
forever.
He is immortal.
But one of the things that I wanted to do was they've been hit hard by COVID. So a lot of their big donors and the big events that they were supposed to do fell through. So I designed a T-shirt, like a design in his honor. It says "The world needs more Willie," and it has his face on it. And all the proceeds will go to Can Do Canines, and you can also donate directly from our website. Here, can you see him? Willie.
I'm trying not to laugh at your cat inappropriately licking themselves in the background.
I know.
You're talking about
care.
something so sweet, and
Constantly.
your cat's just like going to town.
They don't care. Yeah,
It's so great.
I love
She
cats. They're like
always-
roommates.
they are.
That's
always.
perfect. She was getting jealous that you're doing all this nice stuff for the dog. She's like, "Oh yeah."
I know.
Yep.
I know.
Look at
Oh.
me.
But he's already saved my life once. So we're hoping that, yeah.
You didn't want to.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be here. I overcorrected for dinner once and went to bed, and
Oh.
he relentlessly alerted because he's supposed to touch generally, and I'm supposed to check, but I was so low and so tired, and it was so hot that I thought that I was just sweating because it was hot, And so I wasn't waking up until finally he got so done. He just laid on top of me. So I was so sweaty. I had to get up.
Oh.
And
Oh my gosh.
normal blood sugars generally are like 80 to 110. That's like the right range. And I was at 27.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
And you have massive brain cell death after 50. So if it wasn't for him, I would not have woken up.
That's horrible. Lindsay, are you okay? Because you're hearing this from
I
your
don't like-
sister.
No, I know. I've heard this story
She
a
doesn't
lot,
like
and
this story.
I hate hearing it. It makes me
It
really
doesn't get
uncomfortable.
easier.
For a couple of
doesn't get
sisters,
easier
the
hearing
True
it.
Crime podcast, this took a turn.
I was gonna say true crime
Yeah.
is a bit of a light subject compared to this at this moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so we need something that's not quite as close.
But
Yeah.
so we had actually reached out to Can Do Canines and asked if we had permission to do this fundraiser for them. And so yeah, we're doing it through mid-December. There's links on our website and on our social media to purchase this one-time, like limited time design to have the proceeds go to them. And
Oh my
we're
gosh,
very
that's
excited to
cute.
partner with them. So
We'll have to
It's
get the
really
link.
cute.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can get like a tote bag or a sticker or a mug.
What's the site?
what's
Is
the
it
site?
candocanines.org?
It's TeePublic.
So the shirt's on our TeePublic, but the site itself is can-do-canines.org.
We'll make sure we share that across some of our social medias and our
Absolutely.
Yeah.
other
Definitely.
platforms.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
I wish
you.
I opened with that. It would have been so much different. So much less to talk.
So,
Again,
of
we're
course,
going
it-
back to the something good. So we're ending with the something
That's
good.
true.
There you go.
see?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lindsay, a different experience, but I had an experience where I almost lost my wife a few years ago, and I still hate hearing that story as well. Like I relate to it's different for the person that happens to because they lived it, but like the secondary, that's another conversation for another day. But I get where
Yeah.
you're coming from.
Yeah.
Sucks. But go
Yeah.
Willie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
Your
it was
dad
so
didn't
funny.
help?
He was so. We had just been placed not too long ago. He was only with me for a couple of months, and he was surrendered back twice before me. So it took him a long time to really kind of become my dog. But he woke up, got out of his kennel, alerted, stayed up with me until I smelled okay. Like I ran and like the only thing carby I had in my apartment was this tub of ice cream. So I like had freezer burn trying to like eat enough ice cream to get back up.
Aw.
And he just waited until I smelled okay, then just went right back into his crate and fell back asleep. He was like, way to fix it, you dummy. And then like
Oh,
Thank you.
Stop breaking yourself already. Jesus.
Yep.
I know. It's funny. Well, you know.
Do you want to plug your podcast as well?
Sure.
Like social
You
media?
want to, Lindsay?
Yeah. So you can find us online. We're at yeoldecrimepodcast.com. We're on Twitter at yeoldecrimepod. We're also on Instagram at yeoldecrimepodcast. We release new episodes every Wednesday. So there'll be a new episode tomorrow. And we are on pretty much all the social platforms and the podcast platforms. So you can find us pretty much anywhere. So yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, where can people find you?
Well, let's see. At this moment, at the Irish on Fire is the most common one, especially on Twitter. I'm also actually going to be going on in like a little 20 minutes or so on Instagram Live at Content Control, or the Content Control, for my little live music and / chat thing. See if anybody shows up tonight, 'cause I'll be playing a bunch of records tonight, probably 11, 12 o'clock, depending on when I either get bored or
That's how it
nobody
is,
can
yeah.
always shows up, or I decide to
Yes.
stop playing anymore.
Yep.
There it is. Yeah, and see where it goes. I like the people come in and ask questions, shoot the breeze, and me listen to some music. Just hang around. I'm gonna do it anyways, so I might as well put it on live. What the hell, right?
Twitter.com/repo or let'schatpodcast.net. You can find me and all of us and all of our affiliates.
Bree made our website.
Nice.
Awesome.
And you can find me on Twitter, Twitter, Instagram at Let's Chat Revel. I host Let's Chat with Chris Revel, which is our podcast that's spawned off all this fun stuff with these fun folks. and let's chat podcast.net. Excellent. Oh, thank you so much. And thanks for ending it on such a positive, sweet note.
Adorable note.
And your dog's so cute as well.
I'm going to buy a tote bag, okay?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that would be a good mask. If it's TeePublic, I was like, ooh. Actually, we also have a TeePublic where I got this notebook made, and then I put a sticker of us as the Golden Girls, but your dog is better, so go buy their stuff.
You win. Yeah.
But they win.
Put your merch link in our.
Yeah, we don't have any charity. Just you're better than us.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much. All right, everyone, have a good evening.
You as well. Thank you